Hello guys and welcome back. In this lesson we will be talking about what if you fail the exam, or in other words, what if you do not pass your exam on the first attempt. So there are a couple of things that you need to do in order, you need to follow them before giving your second attempt. So there is an 80% chance of you passing on the second attempt if you fail for the first time and if you follow the steps that I'm going to show you in the next slide. So let's quickly move on to our next slide. Great. So what to do if you fail the exam? So the first thing is that be confident before appearing for your next attempt. So if you have prepared for the exam, you should be confident enough when you sit in the exam center and start giving the exam. So I have shared multiple times in my previous videos, if you have already watched them, that the exam only has an average pass rate of 50%. So failing for the exam is not a big deal, as you can always give it again later, but it comes with a cost of failing. And that cost is the cost of the exam. So in order to give the exam again, you need to pay the fee again as well. And it is quite expensive. You also might need to wait for a week or so to appear for the exam again, depending on which state you are in. The third thing is, while attempting the exam, read the questions very carefully, as they can be a bit confusing. For instance, there will be multiple answers that may seem correct, as the exam is designed in a way to test your knowledge about real estate and how clear are your concepts. So keep in mind that while taking the exam, you should never get in a hurry. But you also don't want to go too slow, as the test also has a specified time limit. I cannot stress enough, but read the questions very carefully. I repeat, read them very carefully and do not rush through the questions. Otherwise, there is a possibility of you getting the questions wrong again. So you need to prepare yourself good before taking the exam. There are a variety of sources present online to prepare yourself, which include practice exams and flashcards. The test is expensive and also has a waiting period if you fail, so be well prepared or you will most likely be one of the 50% who will fail the test. However, you want to be in the 50% who pass the test, not for the first time, but for sure for the second time. Therefore, you need to know the ins and outs of the exam. From checking the format of the exam to giving the exam, you need to get familiar with everything, including what you have to take with you and what you cannot. Studying hard for at least 2 weeks is recommended before giving the exam, but if you think you want more time, then start off a month before the exam. Or if you think you can prepare easily, then studying for a week will be enough. But only give the exam if you are confident that you are well prepared and won't fail again. Also, remember to give the exam with a stress-free mind and only focus on what you have learned in the pre-licensing course and whatever knowledge you have gained only related to real estate. So if you take all of these mentioned steps into account, you will surely go and ace the exam easily, and your second attempt will be worth it. So I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned, and with this, let's move on to our next lesson.